How do you justify the expansion of settlements, given that almost nobody I've spoken to on this show thinks that this is anything but inflammatory?
Oh my gosh, Piers, for God's sakes. First thing, I never said the word impoverished. We're a powerful little country, great. But look what happens when we drop our guard for 1 minute. They cream us. Let's be real about what happened. We got creamed. And now we're fighting a war to fix that wrong that happened. Okay, that's number one. Number two is Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, so-called, is the heartland of the Jewish people. It's where we're from. Our whole DNA, everything, our language is based on these places. We're from these places. This was called the Jewish state 2,500 years ago by the Persian Empire. It was called Yehud Medinta, der Judenstaat, the Jewish state. This is the heart of our land. Yes, Israel has not formally annexed Judea and Samaria, but it holds on to it as territories. There's 500,000 Jews, so-called settlers, like myself, who proudly live in the ancestral homeland. This is where we're from. This is where we're going to stay. Nothing is going to get us out. And no amount of international law mumbo-jumbo, no amount of academic gobbledygook is going to get rid of simple, plain history. And many people, including the Trump administration, recognized our rights. So we're talking about big America. You've said to me now on the show 3 times, you said to me, you know, America is against this war. There's many Americas. Right now, it's a Biden America. Tomorrow, it might be a Trump America. A Trump America recognizes our right. So we're going to be patient, as we have been for 3,000 years. We're going to be strong, continue to build our third Commonwealth, which is celebrating 76 years of independence today. Mazel tov, we say. And we're going to keep going. So don't give me this stuff about that we're not going to live in Hebron. Hebron is where we're from. Our forefathers and mothers are buried there. That's where we're going.
Before I go to Norman for a response to that, do you believe then that a natural extension of your logic is that you should also be entitled to the whole of Gaza going forward? Is that your belief? That actually, that is all, do you believe that is all Israeli land?
Absolutely. Piers.
Okay, well,
I was one of the people.
Okay, but then...
Wait, let me finish. You asked a big question.
That's a massive question.
You asked a big question. It needs a real answer. That's right. And it's a fair question. You're right. And the answer is simple. 2005 disengagement was an awful mistake. We should control that land and govern it. Again, it's a tiny piece of our tiny land. And, of course, pro-Israel, non-jihadist Arabs and others, Palestinians, Muslims, whatever they want to be, that don't hate Israel should live there and be successful there.
But what right? Sorry, I'm sorry, but listen,
Jews live in
yishai, sorry, but what right does Israel have to just take over Gaza, having obliterated it?
Yes, we're not taking it over. There was never a Palestine there.
Listen,
no.
You can defend yourself against a terror attack. This surely is exactly the kind of occupation that Norman was talking about, only on a massively bigger scale. You're unashamed about it. You want to occupy Gaza.
You're not talking today. You're not talking today to one of the liberal Jews. You're not talking to a government spokesman.
Clearly.
You're talking to one of the settlers. Right. I am talking to you about what we think is right. What we think makes sense also in terms of how to manage this region.
But the problem is,
if you give up your land to the jihad, they attack you.
Yes, but the problem is you are sounding genocidal in the sense that you want to get rid of...
What?
Well, you want to
genocidal. Did you not hear me say... Piers, I respect you tremendously, so don't put silly words in my mouth.
Okay.
You know, really, truthfully, I watch you, and I love your work, and you open things up for a lot of people. Don't say silly things. That was very silly. I never said anything about genocide. Holding on to a piece of land, holding on to minorities. Every power in this world has minorities inside of it. Every country that's a big country has other minorities, other peoples inside of it. Did I say we should genocide the Arabs? We have a fight with the jihad. I said, and it's on tape, I hope you play it, I said that minorities that are non-jihadists, that are pro-Israel, are going to be successful in this land.
Yes, but I would simply ask you,
genocide.
What right does Israel have to occupy Gaza after this? I don't think you have that right.
It is our historic homeland. Look it up in Wikipedia. You'll see what is the Jewish story in this place. It was ours 3,000 years ago. It was ours 2,000 years ago. Herod built whole cities in Gaza. One of the most ancient mosques in Gaza was before that.
Let me go
the ancient synagogue. It's our ancestral land.